So you want to be happy. In most of the world, you were raised to think that if you get certain things, then you'll be happy. Once I get into a good college, I'll be happy. Once I get a high-paying job, then I'll be happy. Once I get a girlfriend, then I'll be happy. Once I retire, then I'll be happy. The problem with this mindset is it falls into the trap of the hedonic treadmill. Humans are designed to always chase the next thing. And once they get that thing, the happiness they receive is temporary, and they then desire the next thing to make them happy. It's kind of why you see rich people who seem to have it all but are still depressed. When you have it all, there's nothing left to chase, no more happiness to grab at. But a starving child in Africa might look at you the exact same way you look at those same rich people. How could you possibly be unhappy with clean drinking water every day? The countries with the highest rates of depression are normally in the first world. And that's the thing about happiness, the best and only judge of it is yourself. When people falsely believe that achieving some state will lead to their permanent happiness, their desires for that state tend to express some form of underlying worry. Happiness from getting a high-paying job means you won't have to worry about money as much. Happiness from retiring means you won't have to worry about the responsibilities of your high-paying job. And that's the common thread with all of this, worrying. So you can deduce an incredibly simple rule to be a happier person: just stop worrying. But simple doesn't mean easy. Worrying is a biological mechanism that keeps us all alive. If we weren't worried about cars when we crossed the street, or worried about hitting people when we drove our cars, well, the human species wouldn't last very long. But the key to happiness lies in choosing to worry about what you can control. The reason why you aren't happy is that you worry about things that you don't need to.
Can I take the car or what?
Shit. I don't want to drive you my car, getting her grubby hands all over everything. She's not grubby, she's your daughter, you piece of garbage. You're a piece of garbage, a real shitty piece of garbage. Okay, think, idiot. If she takes the car, then you're trapped here with Mom and her spooky lazy eyes. But if you get the milk and leave Hollyhock here with Mom, then she can tell her things about you. Poison your own daughter against you. Is that what you want? Okay, how about, hold on. Oh shit, they're all looking at you. Say something, dum-dum. Open your idiot dumbass mouth. I will get milk.
You overcomplicate happiness. You even worry about how to be happy. Maybe that's why you're watching this video. You read philosophy, watch motivational videos, and read all these tools, protocols, and equations for happiness. And while there's good advice out there, in the back of your mind you think, how can I learn to be happy from anyone? Who knows if they're even happy? After all, some seemingly happy people are depressed behind closed doors. Tom might be depressed behind closed doors. So how can I trust anyone, including the guy in this video, on this topic? Well, there is someone you can trust.
Who's that dog?
Dogs are great. If you hate dogs, then just get out. They always live in the moment and express seemingly boundless happiness. And a great personification of these traits we love in dogs is Mr. Peanutbutter from the show BoJack Horseman. He adds a bit more of a human touch, as although he's not completely free of negative emotion, he stands out as a ray of sunshine in a show where most of the main characters he's surrounded by struggle with mental health. So exactly what can you learn from the mindset of a talking cartoon dog? Despite being in an identical position to his depressed counterpart BoJack in hedonic measures of happiness like status and wealth, he generally leads a much happier life. It'd certainly be naive and easy to say he and dogs are happy just because they're dumb. They're too dumb to realize how miserable the world and their life is. And you and BoJack are too smart to be happy. While that is rather edgy, I tend to disagree. In the show, Mr. Peanutbutter is aware of the existential dreads in life and shows many moments of astuteness and self-awareness.
I had this breakthrough recently. One day in therapy, I just blurted out, is my problem with women any movie directed by Christopher Nolan? Because yes, women are involved, but it's never really about the women. It's about me.
That's actually somewhat astute.
He still has worries, he just worries less and worries about the right things. And while watching the show, I've noticed there are 3 crucial things Mr. Peanutbutter does in the way he treats people, purpose, and outcomes to live a happier, more worry-free life. I invite you to imagine how you'd respond in this situation. You text your friend something innocent and she replies with a seemingly abrasive response, something like,
Whatever, I don't care. Whatever, I don't care? The fuck is his problem?
It's natural to be quick to worry. Is she mad at you? What did you do to deserve this? Is there going to be a problem between you two? Do you need to double text and see what's up? While these thoughts are natural, they only contribute to you making up scenarios in your head. A good truth to have in the back of your mind is that everybody is living in their own world. And 99% of the time when people in your life act, they aren't really thinking of you. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're living in your own world as well. Your friend could be very well dealing with her own issues, and the way she responded to you was how she responded to one of 20 messages she got that day and has absolutely nothing to do with you. Yet you worry about scenarios in your head as if her world was about you. Something Mr. Peanut Butter does well is not taking things personally. When his wife Diane lies to him about going abroad and he catches her in that lie, by default, he recognizes that she is living in her own world and she might be going through her own crisis, which she was, and she did what she did for a reason, which ultimately led to a happier resolution between the two. And there are countless times where Bojack takes jabs at Mr. Peanut Butter. Rather than being deeply offended by these remarks, Mr. Peanut Butter has an underlying assumption that Bojack is just a grumpy individual. And he definitely has his own shit going on, but at the end of the day, they're friends. And he never lets any of these comments get to him.
My producers told me I had to forgive Bojack live on the air. But I'm my own dog. And as my own dog, I decided to forgive Bojack live on the air. Bring it in, buddy. What, really?
But beyond people, what about existential dread? Death, meaning, purpose. Worrying about purpose is in some sense the ultimate worry. The worry that there is no next state that will make you happy, there's nothing to pursue. Worry about purpose can almost be seen as a luxury. The cavemen had no choice but to make foraging food their purpose. Middle-class families have no choice but to make supporting their families their purpose. But true sadness comes when people struggle to find a point or meaning in any purpose at all. For you, you might find meaning in trying to get promoted at your job, and that's a fine purpose because you worry about money. But what point would that purpose serve for the son of a billionaire? He would have a little more trouble finding meaning in that same goal. And this question of meaning extends to things big and small. What's the point of starting a band? You're already on path to becoming a doctor. What's the point of going to this party? You'll get nothing out of it. These are the exact questions Mr. Peanut Butter never worries about. From building an amusement park to starting dumb businesses to chasing a mailman, he doesn't worry if these goals have any meaning to them, aside from being fun to do and aligned with his lifestyle.
Sweetie, you know I support you, whatever you want to do, but you're not going to find what you're looking for in these awful, made-up places. The universe is a cruel, uncaring void. The key to being happy isn't to search for meaning, it's to just keep yourself busy with unimportant nonsense, and eventually you'll be dead.
And while that's certainly a harsh way of stating it, a key truth you can realize is that everything has meaning or nothing has meaning. The heat death of the universe will occur in some trillion years, erasing anything anyone has ever done, including you or I, in which case nothing has meaning. Or you could view meaning as the act of simply experiencing your unique life, in which case everything has meaning. In either case, existential meaning should never be a factor when you choose what you want to pursue. People spend so much time worrying about if a certain purpose has any meaning to it that they spend all that time worrying and end up doing nothing. So might as well have done it and gained the experience, right? Like Mr. Peanut Butter, have a bias towards action. Talk to that girl, deep dive into chess, start that dumb business, make a YouTube channel. But what if the girl rejects you, you're terrible at chess, your businesses fail, and your YouTube channel has 0 subscribers? A common equation for happiness is reality minus expectations. If you have a ton of expectations, you're not going to be very happy. And while an intuitive answer for happiness might be to lower your expectations, I propose you just shift your attention away from future expectations into present reality. That is to say, live in the moment. Dogs live in the moment. When you throw a dog a frisbee, they're not worried about whether or not they'll catch it, because 100% of their focus is on catching it. And ironically, not worrying about catching it makes them good at catching it. In a way, you could say the ultimate form of happiness is having 0 expectations because all your focus is on controlling reality. If you care about the result, the best thing you can do is not worry about the result and care about the process. Only use the result as a way to inform how you'll change your process. Mr. Peanut Butter always reframes things to be within his control.
You two are done. This company is more in the red than Carrie on prom night.
So what you're saying is, we're just one great idea away from breaking even?
No!
While you view it as a sinking business, he views it as one big opportunity away from success. So while hopefully you know being happy all the time and never worrying is impossible, you can be more Mr. Peanut Butter-like by focusing on what you can control, which is not other people's lives, existential truths of the universe, or even how things always turn out. Instead, don't overthink when dealing with people, have a bias towards action, and focus on the things you do day to day. And then maybe you can be just as happy as
Who's that dog?